This is supposed to be a very good time in terms of business for Goldman. What's going on in the culture side of things?
That's absolutely right, Sherry. The business is great. Their stock is sitting at an all-time high. Some of their legal problems have been put to rest. And yet you have a number of other irritant situations at the bank, right? You have high-level senior executives who've left, and these are people from the management team that Solomon had shaped ever since he took over in October 2018. There's, of course, as we show in our reporting, a great deal of bristling inside the firm over the CEO's use of shareholder-owned company jets for his personal weekend trips. And the permanent question that will continue to dog not just Goldman, but several other old school Wall Street firms as to how flexible the workplace will be after COVID subsides. And that's a challenge that Goldman and others will have to deal with and address in a manner that satisfies their workforce.
Right. And how does the leadership style of David Solomon in particular kind of play into these broader themes?
It's very interesting, Heidi. When David Solomon took over from Lloyd Blankfein in October 2018, he cast himself as a more modern chief executive officer. He famously loosened Goldman's suit and tie dress code, kept his kite surfing and disc jockey pastimes, and that's the message he delivered. But behind that, there is also the person whose career took flight at Mike Milken's Drexel, then later on at Bear Stearns. These are firms that are known to be really commercial and very different in some ways from the Goldman old school partnership style, fraternal style. So you have a CEO who's coming in with a very singular focus that's different from how others in the past would have run the place. A central decision-making process, not a decision-making by counsel. And that obviously rubs raw with a lot of the people who are senior people who've been there for years, who are used to a different style. And one wonders whether it will have any long-term impacts for Goldman Sachs years into the future, even if it is helping the bottom line and the share in the short term.
So what's going on with the use of private jets? Because it's not that it's necessarily wrong, right? I mean, he does pay for these private trips.
Oh, absolutely. And we have to be very clear about it. The bank very firmly says that every time the CEO uses the company private jets, he has to pay for it, and he does pay for it. But then there's also the aspect that the CEO risks appearing out of touch at a time when his subordinates, and frankly, the larger public, the public at large, has to abide by, the various restrictions that are around, the rigors of pandemic life. If you have a CEO who's comfortable getting away for these long weekend trips using company resources, even if he's paying for it, it doesn't quite gel with the workforce. And that's the messaging mismatch that he would have to address.